walk up here together and see what happens when you have a 1/4 inch of rain in the month of August. And we've had, since last Sunday, we've had 6 days above 90 degrees with heat indexes in the 100 with absolutely no rain here in southern Iowa. But with that said, no matter what these food plots look like, it's nothing compared to what the people are going through in this country after that hurricane. So I'll take this here, whatever the results are, and smile all the way. Because my heart goes out to those people that their homes are completely ruined, their lives are devastated, and food plots don't even rate on the scale. Let's walk up here and see what it is. Yeah, the venture down the trail this morning, it's 54 degrees out. That's 40 degrees cooler than what Friday was at 94 with the heat index right at 100. So let's go see what dry weather does to food plots. Well, here we are. Those cracks tell you the story. Boy, I tell you, these beans up here, they got cropped down extensively. You can tell all that nibbling off the soybeans. What's more interesting is this was the area I went with the destination, and it's you can see the inundated with the deer track in here. Virtually non-existent. It's almost laughable. 2020, the extreme weather patterns, the coronavirus, you name it, it's happened. And like I said, this was the new plot, the destination, and you can do what you think is right, but it doesn't mean that anything's going to come of it. And there's been deer up here. They've left their calling cards. So what I might do is come in here, and it's supposed to rain. This just, I can't, the whole ground is just covered with deer track down here. They're just looking for the greenest forage. Deer poop out here in the middle of the dirt. I don't know what they're eating down here, but yeah, it's interesting, very interesting. I'd say everything in here, everything has been, in a week's time, it's just been completely devastated. Like I said, they come out here looking for moisture, plenty of deer sign, but look at the cracks in that ground. Yeah, I can't believe up here, this 30 days we planted that, and it's just dust. Well, that's the way it goes. Yeah, there's nothing worth saving in here. That's just the way it went. And we'll get hooked up here, run the pulverizer over it, broadcast some forage oats on it. If they're going, they'll be the quickest fix that you're going to get to go on it. Well, we're going to replant this area with our forage oats, They're fast growing and they'll last into the late season. You got to have a backup plan to back up your backup plan. Like I said, this dirt is bone dry, and that's fresh deer crap. This was planted with the new product Destination, and I was really excited about it, but it's unfair. I'm not going to judge the product over the Drought. And if there is seed in there, we'll just run the pulverizer over it lightly and then incorporate the forage oats and go from there. All you can do, you know, if you don't do anything, then nothing's going to happen. I know I still got the Destination seed possibly in here, so something might happen, but at least we know we reloaded and went at it a different direction. So let's get it putting on the oats. I could probably plant this without, I'm just going to run that pulverizer over here once real lightly, then put the seed on. Well, we got the pulverizer ran over there, and basically what we're trying to do is work up the dirt just a little bit. It didn't really need much, but we're filling in the cracks and stuff. And we'll crank the forage oats on, and then run the pulverizer over it real lightly to cover it up, try to get some dirt over the seed. So that's the best we can do. Here's something really important. You see aisles right there, and if you come down to that grayish, this gray, not the green, this would be August 15th through the September 15th, but being we're in this grayish area, good time is September 1st to October 1st, so that's 30 days. And the nice thing about it, like I said, today is the 30th of August, so we're still in that good, right here in this good time frame. And you want to cover that seed lightly covered by soil when planted. Ideal is 1 inch. For the rest of it, lightly disc or drag the seed into the seed bed. Do not plant more than 1.5 inches. So you want to follow those instructions and stay within those dates, because it's real critical. And maybe, you know, we might pick up some rain in September. Let's hope. Well, like I say, it's not the end of the world. A lot of people in this world got a lot more devastation in their lives than a food plot not germinating. Let's get the cranking the seed on. Well, this is what I'm really interested in. High in sugar, but this winter hardy. Maximum attraction. That's as good as you can do. Yeah, when your Nebraska crop doesn't look like it's going to produce. So hopefully this is the my main goal is to still have a good forage during the winter. You can see the oats are on, broadcasted on. Now we're going to run the Colopac, or not the Colopac, keep saying that this morning. We're going to run the pulverizer over real light and real slow per se, because we don't want to bury this any deeper, but we need to get dirt on it. Now here's something real important. Right here, you can see the oats. Okay, right over here is where I ran the caulipacker real lightly. There's still some on the ground, but they're incorporated. You can see the difference between that and that. Now when we run the pulverizer over it, it's going to look like that, but we're just tickling the dirt. Trying to get some covered, but you don't go real deep. You don't leave them on the ground like this. You want that field to look more like that, with the seed basically buried, but it's not very, very deep. So you don't want, you could leave it like that, take a chance. I've done it before. You just got to put more on. But that's what, when we ran the pulverizer over here real lightly, you can see this very little seed compared to right next to it. I'm really at a crossroads here. Down here, we planted this on, I believe, on the 3rd of March. No, 3rd of August. This was our pure attraction field. And, well, I'll tell you what. It really grew in spotty. Something's been down here. You can see the turkeys been scratching and carrying all over this place. Ah, boy. I did get germination. Not as the spots, it's pretty good. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to overseed it. Boy, they just tore the hell out of this. Looks like a riot went on down here. So much destruction, but you're feeding wildlife here. I tell you, if it ain't one thing, it's another. And this is the 30th of August. Basically, they've really tore it up. And this in here, you can just see where they've went along here and scratched the whole. It's loose dirt. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to do what I did on the other ones. I got some forage oats. I ran up to the local Walmart. Got a couple bags of different brands of seed. And I guess I'm just going to crank it on here. I don't know what else to do. I hate to tear it all up. Like down in here is pretty dang good, considering all. And this whole field would have looked like that if it would have rained. I mean, the intensity. This was where it was moist at down here, and it just. I need to fertilize this down here. Got a tree limb. I got to get out of here. Yeah, this is what your field would have looked like with ample moisture. But you notice it's sort of in the shade, and it held moisture, and it did pretty good. So I think, boy, I got some cracks in the ground down here too. Maybe I could tear parts of this up, be discretionary, and because there ain't nothing going to grow in here. I'm really glad to be able to show you all this, because food plots are a gamble, and we did everything right here, except for we didn't get timely rain, and then the turkeys come in and it's loose dirt. They went ballistic on it. So it's good to be able to show you that, so that you're mentally prepared. that it's not always going to come out perfect. Nothing in life, very seldom, when it does, you really want to take that with the grace of God when you get it to come out good. Now I want to just show you something right here. Now this right here was the old clover field, and we ripped it out after 9 years, and we're just going to take a short walk. This is why it's so important in food plotting. Look at that clover field. Beautiful stand of clover. Beautiful. And it's important to plant that in low ground. Now, I'll come over here. You can see that's about boot high all the way across there. There's a stressed area over there by that tree because it's in the direct sun. And I'm getting some grasses, but I can't mow it. There's no way you can mow that with that much stress. Just leave it alone. It's really doing great considering this drought. So let's get back up and see what we can do on this annual plot. One thing I want to address, in the morning, the leaves are full of dew. You know, it's been real humid even though it's been dry. But if you notice the growth under them, that not only acts as a canopy, but it also sheds that dew like a gentle rainfall. So they get hydration, and you get over there where they don't have the limbs hanging over the field, then the sun's in there a lot and it just burn up. Just tear a little bit of that up. See these large cracks in the ground? That's what we got to knock out, because as dry as that was, and we got this fluffed up. As we go down through here, I don't know. Really, I'm afraid if I put the forage oats up right on top of the ground, right in these areas, that the turkeys will just come along and bring them out. And there's really mounds, gopher mounds, you name it. Oh well, we'll try to make the best out of the bad situation. And this will be a good learning experience for all of us. Here we are, 3:14. And what we did down here is we put this will do 22,000 square feet. We put 2 bags of triple 13 on, which is 80 pounds. Then we put about a half a bag of forage oats on. And now we're going to run the wheel over and put it in. You can see, hopefully you can see the seed on the ground. But, and like I said, we tried to leave what we could. But what we took out, no big deal, because it wasn't going to germinate, and you just got to move on. Yeah, this blend has wheat, forage oats, turnips, and annual clovers. Yeah, we're going to set that seed with those back rollers just where they're touching the ground. Just have the rollers lightly touching that. That back roller mainly will be touching it. I don't want to incorporate that small seed too deep, but I want to cover it up. So we'll get over here and give a see how it works. We don't want it to go too deep because we got small seed in there. I'll show you. You see that covered the seed just enough. Here's where it's not been ran on. You can see the seed, and over in here it gets pretty hard to see. That's where we just ran that back roller just like a colopactor. So that's what that's how we're gonna do the rest of the field. Well, you can see how shiny that rear wheel was. That's all that was touching that. And those little spikes probably ain't much more than 3/4 of an inch long for that. So you can see the spike marks in here. You don't see any drag marks. Just a bunch of little aeration holes and no seed on top. Yeah, we got the forage oats in there, and then we got Mega Plot, Hunter Series Wild Game Food Plot, and this required in the planting no more than a 1/2 inch in the soil there. So, and this oats was no more than 1 inch, and so we got 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So we got it incorporated again. Hopefully what was feeding on it, find a new food source for a while. Yeah, I want to make one thing totally clear. There's no guarantees on fall annual food plots. And there's no guarantee right here. We don't get timely rains, not gully washers, but some nice cloudy 1/2 inch all day long rains coming in, then we'll be right back to square one. Food plotting is a challenge, and there's no guarantees. I don't care who you are, what you do, what you plant. It's up to Mother Nature if it's going to grow or not. Well, that's it from the non-typical. Go get cleaned up. There it is. August 31st, 7:32. We got raindrops on the pond. Let's see how this materializes. Food plots and timely rainfalls. You've got to make it happen.
These are the 7 a.m. conditions for the Lamona area. For today and tonight, showers and thunderstorms will move across the area this morning and into the afternoon. The threat for severe weather is low. Thunderstorms will be possible across southern Iowa Tuesday. The threat for severe weather will be low. No precipitation fell yesterday, which leaves the monthly total at 0.92 inches. This is 3.03 inches below the normal amount of 3.95 inches for August. The total precipitation for the year still stands at 21.45 inches, which is 5.80 inches below normal.
September 1st. Walk over here and see what kind of rain we got today. Don't look like much. Well, probably a 1/4 inch. Walk down and see what the plot looks like that we were working on Sunday. Got some rain on the pond. Well, some places are really getting a deluge. There are 48 hours ago, we're dealing with a different situation here. First day of September, we're getting some rain here on that new plot. Hopefully it'll get it going. Just remember that food plotting can be frustrating at times. But what you're seeing coming down in this video is your #1 ally. And it's coming down at the right rate also. If you just got a big gully washer on a new tilled up powder dry food plot, that would just wash it out. But this is an ideal rain that you couldn't ask for any better. And for you guys that was praying for me to get rain, I want to thank y'all. Look at those oak leaves. They're wet, but they don't have no acorns on them. That's quite a phenomenon. I've never seen that before. But those ground temperatures were really hot, and you get that cold rain on it. Up here on the bigger field, there's steam coming up there too. It didn't rain enough to take the color pecker tracks out, and we'll just reach down here. Oh, it's got some moisture in it, but not a whole lot. But you gotta be thankful for what I got.